What's going on, creators? Yeah, I just want to get on here and bring everybody back to now. Appreciate y'all being here and vibing with me for a bit. Yeah, kind of a little different vibe today. I wanted to share kind of how the hip replacement went. I know, for like going into it, I was like kind of like nervous and whatever, and I was like looking at a lot of other videos of like people that got like hip replacements, and I didn't know what to expect, and so I wanted to share my experience for anybody that's like also going through, a hip replacement, having hip issues, and kind of what to expect, and just share how that was for me. It happened 3 days ago. I got it replaced on Friday. Today's Monday, and I'm already back home. The plan was really insane to me. At first, they were saying have the hip surgery and then go home that same day, which was what I was thinking was going to happen. But the doctor told me going into the surgery that the physical therapy wouldn't be today or on Friday, so I had to stay the night, which I was actually kind of glad after it was said and done, because I hadn't had an experience like that before. For those that are just like new to this channel, this whatever. I'm 37, basically kind of going into. I've been dealing with a hip issue for probably 25 years. They could call it like avascular necrosis, and basically what that is on some level, they don't know why it happened. It's probably genetic because there's so much of it on my dad's side of our family, but I guess the blood flow to the hip stopped for some reason, and then the hip just kind of starts to deteriorate because of lack of blood flow and whatnot. And mine was in really rough shape according to the doctor. And so yeah, for anybody else that's like dealing with that kind of condition too, and kind of prolonging getting it done, just want to share kind of how it went. And so basically going into the surgery, I was like kind of nervous when I got there, because I didn't really know what to expect as far as like anesthesia, hospital, anything like that, because I don't ever go to the doctor, for the most part. And this is only like the second surgery I've ever had. The first one was actually on my hip again, but I was like middle school age, and that was really traumatic and fucked up, because I got put in leg casts that were like 48 inches apart, so it's like my legs were spread like that, and I had a big bar between my knees, and the cast went from my feet to basically the tops of my legs. And I came out of surgery, I had like really bad Charlie horse feeling pain that lasted probably 2 or 3 weeks, and nothing you could do about it, being stuck in leg casts. And so kind of had that drama going into this surgery. I was getting a posterior total hip replacement. For those that are like more in the medical side of things, they have another one called anterior, which I guess is a little bit less painful in just the way that they don't have to cut through muscles or whatever, but because of the condition of my hip, this is what they had to do. And so it gets to the hospital and get put into the surgical area, and like the anesthesiologist, I never met him before, but he was a cool dude. He could tell I was like kind of just on edge, and so he gave me some something, which kind of just calmed me down a little bit. And I was nervous because I had to get a spinal block instead of just general anesthesia. So I was like kind of nervous about like getting a needle shoved into my spine. And what kind of happened though is he gave me these drugs through the IV, and next thing you know, I was just like touching my legs and they were already numb. I was like, did you already do this? And he was like, yeah, you're done. And so go wheeling into the surgical room or whatever. Still conscious on some level, but really kind of just like I wouldn't say disorient, but just it was like really choppy. It was just like we're like, oh, we're in the hallway now. Oh, we're in the surgical area now. And I remember getting off the bed. Like I helped kind of move myself from the bed onto the operating table, and next thing you know, wake up to nurses like kind of fucking with my IVs and just like all this type of like monitoring stuff. And there's like a lot of numbness, from like the waist down, from the the spinal block. So I didn't really experience a lot of pain. I could tell there's like some like sensation where the incision was, and some of the muscles and shit were a little bit sore, even though it was numb. But the whole thing only took like an hour and a half, the surgery. And luckily, for me, even with it being in really shitty shape, the doctor was able to put the new hip in without a problem, without having to customize it, which they thought they might have to, which was really exciting when I woke up that it went smooth. And got put up into the room, and next thing you know, they're like, "Let's get you up out of bed." It's like, "Oh no shit, are you kidding?" My legs were still pretty numb. I like trying to move my feet up and down just was really kind of difficult. But it was crazy how fast the healing process started, happening, because like within a matter of like, an hour or two, I could start moving my right foot more, left foot more, and then yeah, but they got me up out of bed and sat me in a chair, which was crazy. But the even more insane part was like standing up, like an hour or right after waking up. There was like no actual pain in the hip area. It was more just muscle aches, numbness, kind of disoriented from being on all these fucking like drugs and shit. But like get to the chair, and I was able to like play some games with my wife and whatnot. And then next day, physical therapy, and they sent me home at less than 24 hours later. And I was able to use this. Oops, crap. Use this walker to kind of get around. Today, been able to kind of dress myself, and every day, it's feeling stronger and stronger, faster and faster too. It's wild. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this thing heals. I already feel way better in my hip. It's more of a muscle pain now, and like the incision kind of. But that's it. It's wild what they did, and for those that are kind of nervous about it, like kind of scared of what it's going to feel like. You probably feel better afterwards than going into it, which is what my experience was. A lot of people shared their experiences with me going into it, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. And yeah, it's going on 3 days. Kind of going to start just doing more and more music related things. You got the handyman business on hold. You can see like I got the power washer and my paint sprayer behind me because like it's like really cold, where I live. And I didn't have time to winterize that shit. So, say, I guess 6 weeks before kind of get up and around in that way. But, for the most part, I'm looking at a month and a half of being able to just produce more and more music, do more and more guitar things, do more streams, hopefully provide, some entertainment that, is good for your mental diet. That's kind of my goal with like all the mental diet, playlists, is just give you something positive to listen to instead of just the hysterical dramas and, oh, did you hear what Biden's doing? Oh, did you hear what this is doing? The economy, just all this fucking just bullshit that just doesn't really build you up in any type of way. And so just try to give you something positive to listen to, entertain you on some level with music and just these streams. And yeah, pretty much it, and so I wanted just to share that. I know people were kind of like emailing me and like messaging me and seeing how things were going, and I do appreciate all the love and support I've been getting, to the surgery and everything. I didn't really broadcast it too much on like Twitter or any of the social networking things, just because I don't know. I just didn't really feel the urge to, but I just wanted to get back on here. I was talking to Digi. He should be. Me and him should be doing a stream in the coming days, which will be fun to catch up. But it's always fun to talk to Digi and see where he's coming from. He sent me a long email of just where his head's at with things, and it'd be not he's got like a unique point of view with the way he processes reality in the world, and doesn't always agree with the way I do, which is fine by me. It's like we're all unique and have a unique take, and so it's I don't really have that kind of a vibe of like, oh, let's all be like the Borg and think the same way and process reality the same way and think about like spiritual things the same way. All that kind of stuff I feel like is unique, and it's interesting to me to share that and bring that to you guys on some level, and girls, so I just like say that stuff without thinking, but for the people, guys and girls and whoever's that's listening, I'm trying to think what else I was going to bring to you guys' awareness on some level with the hip replacement, but I think that's pretty much it for now. Being able to like get around the house more and more. So I got like physical therapy, which I feel like is like really important to do. Even before the hip surgery, I was like really focused on being active. I missed my weight loss goal for the surgery by like 7 pounds, but I have still been losing weight since the surgery. So it's happening, it's just a little bit slower pace, but I look forward to like being more and more active. Look forward to swimming again. I gotta wait till the incision heals to do that, and get back to the gym and stuff, which looking forward to that. And for people that like shy away from like gyms and stuff, I always think it's weird that people that have this like, I've heard it from multiple people, because I've said to many people, it's like, hey, if you feel uncomfortable going by yourself, we can like swim together and work out together and stuff. There's a guy from church, he's got like a heart condition and stuff, and it's good for him, I guess, to have like aerobic exercises, but he doesn't like to go to things by himself. And it's like, well, we can go together and we can work out and whatever. Another customer of mine was the same way. He was like kind of like bigger and stuff, and said it's the same thing to him. And he's like, well, he feels like ashamed, or I don't know, what, like he feels like people are like going to make fun of him for some reason. And it's like I keep hearing that from different people, that it's like I try to come to the gym with me and whatnot. It's like they feel like people will like bully them and make fun of them. And it's like, what I don't ever get is like, don't you realize that some of the people that are there started off like really out of shape and like fat, and now they're not. It's like they know what's going on. It's like most people at the gym I've experienced to be really kind and nice, and never had any drama with anybody. And plus, that environment helps, really healing environment too, because everybody's like really kind of focused on improving. And yeah, there's definitely an energy associated with that that's important to kind of start to build yourself up. Because a lot of times with like mindset things and like the way you're thinking and processing life, it's important to have a positive, conscious attitude of what you do want, because there's a lot of fears that can come in. I've been having a lot of fear going into the surgery of like, oh, what if I die? My dad, he died less than a year ago, watching that happen in the hospital with the COVID shit. And then my dog that was like 20 years of my dog, watched her die, within a month or so. So I had a lot of like death and shit on my mind of like, because it kind of feels like that, like surrendering your body to just being unconscious and having people cut you open and doing surgical shit to you. It's like, kind of feels like surrendering. Like I could, you never know what could happen, but it was an awesome feeling coming out of it. Really have a positive, like grateful attitude, a lot more so than I thought. It's just like, just being alive and on a healing process. It's like really a lot of gratitude that I didn't really think, because with the law of assumption type things, you try to put yourself in the state of already kind of being healed. But the whole thing I felt was like a bridge of incidents that it was like undeniable. If I didn't lift a finger to do like make the surgery shit happen, it just all, my wife's just got the urge to just like, this is it, you can't just be doing this anymore. And so she, without me asking, she just really started putting shit into motion. And then I was still really like resisting the idea of like going through with it, because it was like, oh, can I wait, can I push it off even longer? And then there's like this weird like kind of attachment to like the hip, my bone. It's like, it's like they're gonna cut that out. I actually asked the doctor if I could keep it, but they refused to let me have it. I asked multiple people, and they all denied the request. But I guess there was like some sort of like health code reason why they can't let you just take body parts home. But I thought it'd be cool to have it in like a jar. I'd show you guys, how fucked up it was. But like, you just have to take my word for it, I guess. But like, it's just moving forward, really, really grateful to be alive, really grateful that the surgery went well, and really grateful for the doctor being able to do everything with his skills and expertise to make that shit happen. Have a new respect on some level. I already had a lot of kind of respect for like orthopedic doctors because of just going to them over and over again. A lot of commonalities between like doing like handyman work and orthopedic work. We use the same kind of tools, drills and saws and shit like that, so there's a lot of like common ground on some level. You kind of understand where they're coming from. And really, really I didn't get to even say thank you to him like after it was done because he's just so matter of fact about it. It's like that's what's crazy to me. It's like so you just cut me open and it's like Friday and then you just go home and enjoy the weekend, which is wild. Which is, everybody's different, I guess. And so yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk, share that with you guys. I know, some people like were concerned and were seeing how things were going, and yeah, hopefully that's helpful too if you're like nervous about getting your hip replaced. Especially if you're younger, it's one thing. You hear a lot of like older people getting their hips replaced, but I'm only 37, and so I actually found it kind of I wouldn't say satisfying, but like there was another guy. He had the same condition, probably a little bit younger than me actually too. He got both of his hips replaced, and it was nice seeing somebody younger, and he was already recovered, kind of just sharing his process of that, but. Yeah, I mean it's quick by the time that you start feeling this relief. I already feel it like being better. It's a different type of pain where it's like now it's like muscly. Um, there's obviously like trying to like walk without like babying it, which I was so used to doing, but now it's like trying to retrain the mind into like, oh, I'm actually healed. I don't need to baby this and try to balance out even more. I actually grew a half an inch from the surgery, which is also kind of fun. So that was kind of fucked up from the hip being so destroyed or whatever. Is like a half inch was like off on this like the left side, which now I'm like even. So it's like feel a little bit taller and shit too. And so with that being said, I think I'm gonna probably bounce. Like it's 10 o'clock my time, so I kind of want to maybe start maybe working on some new music. I don't know. I might take it easy. It is only been a couple of days, Netflix and chill type thing. My wife, she's at work, and so I can watch whatever type of show without her being like, "Why are you watching these kind of documentaries?" She doesn't like the documentary type stuff, and so. And not to sit there and make fun of that. My wife has been incredibly awesome during this whole ordeal, being very supportive, being very helpful, and very blessed that she's in my life. And so, with that being said, I think I'm gonna bounce. So I appreciate you guys' support. I appreciate you guys watching this and all that, subscribing, liking, all that kind of social networking thing. And I appreciate your spiritual support and your physical, financial support too. Link in the description. I appreciate it. Put it to good use. And with that being said, I think I'm gonna bounce. So until the next now, everybody, have a good rest of your day, and God bless.